Hey guys, this is Chris, the Lower Slower Board Gamer, and we are going to be introducing a new game that I've gotten, a Kickstarter that I backed. Just came in a couple of days ago, learned it pretty well, and I want to show you guys how to play Bat Flip Dynasty by Scott Corelander of Corelander Games. Let's go on down to the table and check this out, shall we? Small little game, not too big. Not too much. It's not a sports simulation. It is a card-driven dice placement game where you try to get as many wins as you can and build up trophies so that you have the greatest baseball dynasty. So let's open the box. I did this last time. Let's look at the back of the box because everyone wants to know. Just look at the whole thing. You see, it is 13 plus age. That's for inspecting parts. You have 2 to 6 players. There is a solo mode included with this game. 45-minute playtime. I'd say that's probably pretty good once you get the hang of it. Maybe for lower player counts. I've only played it solo, so I don't know how it plays with other player counts. I do have the rules here for regular play, and it also, like I said, it comes with the solo, and that's what I've been playing. So we'll cover solo at the end of this, but I want to go through the components, basic rules, maybe a season of play, and see how it goes. There's the instruction booklet, only 16 pages, so there's not a lot to it, and most of the pages are larger illustrations, as you can see. So, and 1 page, 2-sided solo rules, easy enough to do. Let us look and see what comes in the bag, in the box. We got a bag of red dice, and they have 6 sides on them. Strike zone, hitting, speed, little blow up thing, power, arm is in throwing arm, and there's another one, a glove for fielding. So they are 6-sided dice. They have different things they do. They go on different players' cards. It comes with 5 sheets of counters, tokens, representing bits of money. So that way you can keep track of how much a player costs against your salary cap. Each team will have a salary cap, and trophies that can be handed out, and depending on the player account, a certain number of trophies is the winning condition. I'll be able to go over here. It comes with baggies. Thanks, Scott, much appreciated. And the inside of the bottom can be used as a dice tray. I've used it that way. I'm going to use good old this guy for just for the video, but I've been using this. Works really well, fits. So let's go over the cards. First, let's show you one really good thing. Plays up to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 player aids. Big thank you, Scott. Much appreciated. It rolls out the season, the starting phase, and all the way through. And then the other side of this shows the 12 teams that can be in this league. You have the aces, the bangers, the clutch, dirt bags, juicers, money bags, flips, pinchers, scouts, small ballers, stars and scrubs, super pals. So we'll keep one of those handy because we'll need it. Then you have your team cards. Let's put you right over here. You have 12 team cards. Dink, 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 dink. The aforementioned teams. And your team cards are going to have the salary cap in the upper left. Of course, the logo will be prominent. The name, the Philadelphia Flips. And conditions that give your team more wins. Infield, if you have first, second, third, and short on your active roster, add 6 wins. Outfield, if you have left, center, and right field on your active roster, add 4 wins, and each team has something that helps you and has conditions for that. On the reverse of all of these, you have managers. And the manager will have the team that he's from, his name, spits here. You're rolling extra dice in the playoffs, which comes in handy. So the more playoff wins you have, it gets you closer to one of those trophies. But all the managers do everything. And to start the game, however many GMs you have, you're going to randomly deal 2 team cards to each. And then they get to look at those team cards. Well, New York Moneybags is 27 million, the largest salary cap, and Los Angeles Stars and Scrubs is 5. And you add 1 win for each non-all-star on your active roster. Here, if you have 3 million or less left over, add 4 wins. So you get to pick one of the teams, and you get the other manager. So say you go with the Moneybags, that means you're going to get Clyde Moon as your manager. You may skip the arbitration phase for all-stars on your team. And it also has a place for a wild card. You can take one of the die at one phase of the game, place it here, and the rest of those die that your team uses in that phase are wild. You can put them anywhere. So we're going to say that is one of those right there. We'll save these. We'll use these for the playthrough example. And then we have player cards. Player cards have the team that they are part of, and sometimes if you have more than one player from a team, you get more wins. Their name, their salary, footprint, different kinds of dice that they can get in different times of the game. Blue is a first phase, red is a second phase, but we'll go through that here shortly. Lists their position, lists any extra things they can do. For instance, Enrique's max wins are equal to the max wins of the player to the left, so different things can affect more wins that the player is going to contribute to your team. They'll be listed down here. And then you're going to have your base wins and your max wins on each player card. In order to get any wins from a player, you have to have all spaces for your dice that are required with a die sitting on top of it. If you have a speed, for this example, sitting here, and you have a bat sitting there, then you have matched all of their requirements and you get their max wins. Say in this instance, Johnny Depp, if he's got the bat, if he's got the glove, and if he's got the arm, you're getting the max wins from him, which is 6. And you total them up, you want to get the most wins during the regular season. That's what this is. Say he did not have the arm, you had this die here, but you wanted those 6 wins, you can put it on there cockeyed like that, 45 degrees. Now, if all of them are filled, but all of them don't match, then you get your base wins. So at least he's giving you 3. Those are the player cards. Let's go ahead and play through a quick season so you guys can see how this thing works. Alrighty. As you can see, the other team, we have the Atlantic Aces. Add 1 win for each pitcher on your active roster. Add 2 wins if you have a pitcher and a catcher, the battery. $23 million salary cap. And Akira Banto is our manager. Add an extra team die for each prospect you have on your active roster. Cover that as well. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this set up. We've randomly dealt 2 cards, and our GMs have chosen our manager and our team. We're going to give each of our managers the money that they have for the salary cap, 27 and 23. Just like so. And as you can see, the little markers, they are denominations of 1 million, 3 million, and 5 million. So you have these to represent 27 million for New York and 23 million for Atlantic City. And the goal is to get the most trophies, either by winning 16 games in a regular season, by winning the most games in a regular season, or by winning the playoffs with the most playoff wins. You can get up to 3 trophies in a season. For a 2 GM game, the first 1 to 8 wins. For 3 to 4 GMs, it's 7. For 5 to 6 GMs, it's 6. So we're playing 2 and it would be first 1 to 8. We're not going to play the whole season, just a little bit to give you an idea of what's going on here. So, we've done all that. Shuffle player cards to form a player deck. Yeah, yuck. Shuffle them, dippy-doo. Thank you. Place them within reach. Doesn't really matter, but we'll set them right down here. And discards I'll stick over here off camera. Okay, so what we are going to do, first step, yep, that's right there. First step is free agency. Free agency is where you sign or decline a player in the hand you drew and then pass that deck of players to the player on your left. And for multiplayer, 2 or more, you draw 4 cards. But if it's the first one of the season, you draw 6. So we're going to draw 6 card hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's going to be New York's starting hand. Now we need, for each pitcher, or a pitcher and if we have a catcher, we also get that. So we have 3 pitchers and a catcher. That's going to be 3, 4, 5 extra wins for Atlantic City. If we have 3 million or less left over when we're done doing this, that's going to be 4 wins for New York. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and each team is going to pick a player or discard a player they don't want another team to have, and then we will pass. So let's see what we're going to choose here. And I think the money bags are going to go straight for it. We're going to get Mickey Starfish. He's 15 million. He's an all-star. He's adding 3 team dice. And he's a center fielder. Skip arbitration phase for this player. So what that has to come up, nothing. But 10 wins. So I think we are definitely going to go with Mickey Starfish. And we're going to place 15 million worth of markers on him, so we know that that portion of the salary cap has been used. And we're going to do this until we go through all the cards. You can have at most 5 players on your active roster, and then however many prospects. Bear in mind, if you have any prospects, you're going to have to bring them up on the next turn. You will have to add them to your team, so you'll have to make room by letting other players go. And let's do this instead. Let's bring this down here. Yeah, we'll put this stuff there. That's it. Player deck doesn't need to be right there. Atlantic City. Let's see what they're going to do. I think I'm going for wins. He only takes 2 dice for 2 wins. They don't have to match for 1 win, but he is a pitcher, which is another win. He's only 1 million, but I do believe that is how the Atlantic City Aces are going to start this. So they're going to take Jim Jacked, and then we're going to switch the hands. Wah! Now, this hand, New York gets to choose from. This gets done simultaneously until everyone has chosen to sign a player or discard a player. Sign or decline is what they call it. Then they pass it. So this portion will be done simultaneously by everybody. 3 million or less. We want to spend money. 23. That is 6 wins. That is just a single die. And Marcos adds the same number of dice as the player to his left. That's what these asterisks are here for. Asterisks, there's generally a condition on the card that tells you how many dice it is. And in this case, if we were to sign him, we would have 3 of those, but still none of those. So we would need to get some playoff dice. I'm thinking that's what we're going to do. He's worth 8. So that's most of the rest of our money. We're going to have to be getting million guys, 2 million guys, as New York has 4 left. Atlantic City. And I'll go through this and I'll show you that, but basically this is what we're going to do in order to choose what we have. So let me do this and I'll show you when we're done. Alright, so here we are at the completion of the free agent draft. New York took a couple more players. They had only 4 left. So they took Caden Bluff. He's getting some playoff dice. Power icons are considered matching for his slots. So if they roll and they don't have the strike zone and they don't have the throwing arm, then the power icon can be used in any of those places to be a matching die. All-Stars cost 1 million less to sign. Probably would have been handy to get him first, but then some of these guys may not have been around. They really wanted to go for that. And they've spent all their money, so they're going to get 4 more wins in the regular season. And I changed this back because it's supposed to be this way, because like here where it says Marcos gets the same number of dice as the player to his left, it's oriented this way. So this is the way it should be right here. But we got a second baseman with some playoff dice. We have Miles, who gets +1 max win for each All-Star on the active roster. There are none. And Gary Tools, skip arbitration phase for this player. You can always cut him, but you'll see what happens during that. You don't have to add money to his contract. We'll get to that later, like we do, you know. Next, we are going to be going through our team dice phase, where we're going to select our team dice based on the cards, roll the team dice, and this is done simultaneously as well with multiple players. It's different for solo, but for 2 to 6 GMs, this is done simultaneously as well. So, team dice are going to be the blue ones on top. So we have 3, same as the player to the left. So we have 6, 7, 8 team dice for New York. Dink. And then for Atlantic City, the aces, we have none, 1, 2, 3, none. So we only have 3 for the aces. They have a lot of money left over. They got a lot of low salary guys because those are the cards we had to deal with. Alrighty. So let's roll. Let's get New York's done first. And you can see what they got. We got strike zone, speed, glove or defense. We have 2 bats. We have a power and an arm. Now they're going to place them wherever they can, where it's most advantageous for them to get wins. And they really want to concentrate on this guy. This guy also, but they spent all their money. They're going to get 4 more wins. So all they need to get a single trophy is 12. 12 wins plus the 4, 16 wins, which is what you need to get a single trophy. You get a second trophy if you have the most wins in the regular season. So they're going to place these dice in a number of places. We're definitely going to get our big guy, Mickey Starfish, with that, and that. All 3 dice match. Well, he'll be getting his max wins. Let's do this. Wild card is a bat. So we're going to put the bat here. We're not going to cock it to the side as an unmatching die. Since it's a wild card, that matches. And then we're going to do that and that. And we'll turn him... yeah. We're just giving up on that guy, I guess. I don't know. Turn him sideways. Because if we get that, we'll get more wins than if we were to make this work and this one not, which is only 2. This will give us 3. So that's what we're going to do with him. With Atlantic City, their dice, let's roll them. It's not many. Not many at all. 2 gloves and a strike zone. Well, strike zone is going to go here. Gloves. Gloves. Boom. Just not a lot of wins. All-star. I can turn his base wins. Max to base in order to get someone else up, but he's the biggest one. These are the 2 we really want to concentrate on. So let's go here. Let's go, because they're the highest max wins. We're just not going to have a lot of points this season. What do we do with that? Do we make that wild for our next dice that we roll? I think we make that wild, make it a little easier on ourselves. So we'll put that on Akira Banto right there. So that's a wild card. Anytime we roll that with the next set of dice, that's a wild card for New York. So we have done the roll team dice. So we're going to look at the red dice marks. And this gets divvied up by the entire league, and everyone gets to put stuff down. So we have none, same as the player to the left, none. 1, 2, and none. So 2 more dice are being rolled in this, excuse me, in this pool for everybody, which is league dice. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we are adding 6 dice at the behest of Atlantic City. All of these are going to be rolled together. Atlantic City contributed the most to the league dice draft, so they will get to go first. So let's roll these dice. And you can see we've got 3 gloves. We have 2 bats, and 1 each arm, strike zone, and power. And Atlantic City gets to go first. Atlantic City wants to do what they can. They're going to take a bat. Right there. There's no speed out here. They're going to take a bat. There's plenty of gloves if they need to grab one for this. Yep. New York. They're going to take the strike zone and do that. Atlantic City, they're going to take the power and go here on Gary Tools. New York City, there is no power, but their wild is a bat. They're going to take a bat and put it right there. They filled everything up. This card is a prospect. New York drafted a prospect. So it's kind of in the minor leagues, and you're only going to have one of these in front of you, so you might set these down below, out of the way when you're doing it, so that way they can be done the next turn, beginning the next turn. I'm just sticking him to the side so that way we know who he belongs to. New York they have filled all of their dice slots. Atlantic City Aces, they're going to get 2 wins from this guy. Nope. They're gonna, boom, they're gonna discard 1. They're gonna take the other. Yep, they're gonna get the wins while they can. New York is full, so they discard a dice. So they're going to prevent me from getting either one of these, let the wild cards go, still be able to get 1, but it's gonna go here. Let's discard that one. Atlantic City, they're going to take this. It is a matching dice because it's the wild card that Akira has. So that is 3 players contributing wins. And New York is going to discard that die as well. So there is our league dice draft portion. Now we're going to tabulate our regular season scoring, how many wins each team gets. Remember, they need 16 to get a trophy. The team who wins the most gets an additional trophy. So let's do Atlantic City first. Nothing here at all. No dice or even incomplete. Like here, if I only had 1 die, he doesn't qualify for giving any wins. You have to have a die in each position. So these 2 are not helping. This one has all 3, so he's getting his max wins, which is 3. This guy has 2, so that is 5. He gets and when it says Miles gets +1 max wins for each all-star on my active roster, it's +1 max wins. He has to have max wins in order to get that boost. So if he didn't have any dice, he wouldn't be able to do it. But he does, so his max wins are 2. He has max wins. However, there are no all-stars. There are no stars next to the names like there are up here. So he doesn't get a bonus from that. So we're at 3, 4, 5. And we have all the dice matching here. None are turned on a 45-degree angle. All the dice match 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 wins. Rotation, add 1 win for each pitcher on the active roster. That's 10. Add 2 wins for the battery, pitcher catcher. So that's 12 wins. Atlantic City has 12 wins. I think New York's going to do more than that. We'll see here in just a moment. All of them are complete. Now this is not a matching one, so it's not going to be max wins, it's going to be base wins, which is 0, so such as it is. But these 3 are contributing wins. All 3 match, all 3 are full, 10. 1 it matches, 1 is full, 16. All 3 match, all 3 are full, 19. And then add 4, 23 wins. And I forgot, add an extra team die for each prospect on your roster. Let's roll one just to see. It's a blank, so it wouldn't have done any good anyway. Okay, you get a base win, so they've got 13 wins, and they have 19, 23. So Atlantic City did not get 16 wins. They don't get a trophy. New York has at least 16, 23, so they get a trophy. They also won the most during the regular season. They get a second trophy. So New York has 2 trophies so far, Atlantic City none. Now we go to the playoffs. And we're going to take all of the dice that we have on our players, leave these here. So Atlantic City is going to take all of these dice. All right, like so. That is Atlantic City's dice. New York is going to take all of these dice. And everybody's in the playoffs. If you have 6 GMs, all 6 teams are in the playoffs. Anybody can do it. So New York has 9 dice. Atlantic City has 7. So in the first round, each team is going to roll all of their dice. And there is a scoring for how the dice come out, kind of a Yahtzee-ish kind of thing. Pairs are 1 playoff win. 3 of a kind equals 3 playoff wins. 4 of a kind is 5 playoff wins right up here, and 5 of a kind is 7 playoff wins. There are 3 rounds to the playoffs. In the first round, you roll all of your dice. In the second round, you roll the dice you don't want to keep, or roll them all, or whatever you want to do, and then you keep what dice you want to save and re-roll 1 time in the second round. Same in the third round. So let's go ahead. Let's see what New York can do in the first round of the playoffs, rolling only once. They have 3 bats. They have 2 power. That was a glove. That was something else. They only had 2 gloves, and then they had 2 spare dice. So right there, pairs are 1 win. 1, 2, 3 of a kind is 3 wins. So right now they have 5 wins. Okay. Atlantic City is going to roll. Let's do this. I can reach it easier. Atlantic City, not too shabby. they have 3 arm, they have 2 speed, and they have a glove and a strike zone. They have a 3 of a kind for 3 wins and a pair for 4 wins. So right now it's 5-4. That's the first round. The second round, you can save the results or roll them all again, whatever you want to do. And then after you make that first roll in the second round, you can re-roll whatever dice you want. So I think New York, they're going to keep the bats. And by the way, the wild cards don't have anything to do with this, only for placement of dice during the team dice and league dice drafting portions. Has no bearing on the playoffs at all. So the money bags are going to keep the 3 bats and roll these. Let's see what they can get. Well, they're going to get 3, and then 3 totally separate different ones. So that's 6 wins. They could keep that. But they think they can do better. They're going to re-roll all of them. Second roll in the second round. We're looking for bats, and we got another bats, and now that is 5 playoff wins with 4 of a kind. And they have 2 arms for 6. Oh, they have 3 speed for 7, 8, 9. They have 9 playoff wins with those dice. 9 playoff wins. Atlantic City, they're going to keep their 3 of a kind. They're going to roll that, and they're going to get a pair of bats for another win, total of 4, and 2 odd dice. They don't like that. They're going to re-roll all 4 of these again. They could re-roll all 7 if they wanted to. They want to keep those 3 wins. Oh, nice. We have 5 of a kind, so they have 7 wins and 2 spare dice. So right now we have 5, 3, and 1. 9 wins, 7 wins. 1 more round of the playoffs left to go. 9 wins, 7 wins. The best they can do is another pair. The best they can do is another pair, or if they re-roll, because you can't get higher than 5 of a kind. If you get a pair, that is 8 wins. New York is going to stand. They got 9 wins. Atlantic City is going to roll, and that doesn't add on to it, so it's a separate one. They're going to re-roll them, hoping for a pair. One last time, didn't get it. 9 wins to 5 wins. New York gets a 3rd trophy this season. Now, if these totals had been the same after 3 rounds, then you would have continued a round at a time until someone ended up with more wins. But as it turns out, most times you're only going to have 3 rounds in the playoffs. That is how the regular season and the playoffs work. Now we are going to go to arbitration, which is where you need to decide to keep players. If you have a prospect, you have to have room to bring him up to your active roster. Say he was on this team, you can only have 5 players on your active roster. You'd have to lose somebody because he must be promoted. So he must be promoted. Let's move the dice out of the way. Now, one little trick here is, he's not promoted yet. He's still in the minor leagues. One little trick here is, you've got to add $1 to everybody if you're keeping them. So if you're paying him 15, you got to add 1 million. So he's getting 16 this season. New York doesn't have any money. They're going to have to get rid of Caden Buff. And we'll discard him over here. And slide him so all the players are next to each other in that orientation. Now, they could get rid of somebody else, but they're going to get their wins the next season with 16 and 4 more. So they're going to go ahead and pay everybody. They're down to 0, so yeah, they're getting the extra wins. They're just going with 3 on the active roster. Over here, they have plenty of money if they want to keep these guys. They do not want to keep these guys. They really don't. Pitcher catcher for $2 to get 3 wins. That's not horrible. They're going to keep them. They're going to get rid of everybody else. That's what they're going to do. Get rid of them. They're gone. Okay, now that arbitration is done, you must promote prospects. He is now on the active roster. He doesn't get paid the million because that happens during arbitration at the end of the next season. Arbitration has already happened, so when he is brought up, he is not being paid anything at this point. Alrighty, and let's go ahead and just do one more league draft, so that way you can see the effects of having more money, having not much money. New York is out, so they're not going to be able to add anybody, but they can discard people that they think Atlantic City would like. So we're going to draw 4 cards for each. New York. And we'll show you the result of this in just a moment. So as you can see, New York didn't add anybody to the roster. They didn't have the money to do it. There weren't any prospects in the players available. So they still have skip arbitration phase for your all-stars. Boom. Kept them anyway. But he did not have to. Oh, arbitration phase. He doesn't have to pay them extra. One moment. Since they didn't have to pay him extra, they're going to pick up Spike Liu for $2 million. So down here for Atlantic City, they picked up another pitcher, which is another win here. Next player you sign costs $3 million more. Forgot to do that. Pablo gets +3 max wins if you have a pitcher on your active roster. So if he gets a bat, that goes to 7 because there's a pitcher on the active roster. And Angel gets +1 max wins for each power icon on your dice. Actually, that would be a cool thing to do with the wild card. Now, when we get to the next season, any team that had 16 wins or more, if there is anything on the wild card on their manager, that's an additional team dice they get to roll. Atlantic City only had 12 wins. They don't get that. But New York is going to get an extra team die to roll. And then you lather, rinse, repeat. You do your team dice where you look at the blue dice things and roll them and assign them. And then you count the red dice things, put them into a pool, roll them all together, and take turns adding them to your players. Count your regular season wins, go through the playoffs, arbitration, lather, rinse, repeat until 5 to 6 GMs, someone has 6 trophies, 3 to 4 GMs, someone has 7, or 2 GMs, someone has 8. Now there is a solo mode of this available, comes with the game, but we're going to do an extra video for that at some point. Just not quite yet, but I wanted to share this with you. It's a cool little game. If you want to learn more about it or find out how to get it, I recommend going to, it's right here, hold on, I show you, Corelandergames.com, right there. Go there. Again, I backed this probably about 3 months ago or so. I saw it on Ed's channel, Ed Klinkenberg, and it looked fun, and I was like, you know what, I gotta get this thing. It looks like it's gonna be a blast, and it really is. It's not a sports simulation. It's just a cool little practice in economics and being a general manager, adhering to a salary cap, seeing what you can finagle out of your players and get the most wins. That's exactly what this game is about. It's a fun game. It's a little game. It's a fun game. Once you get the hang of it, it doesn't take long to play. The guys that I play games with, by and large, are not baseball fans, but this might be something that they might be willing to sink their teeth into just to see how it goes, and that'll be neat. So guys, thank you very much for watching. This is, again, Chris, the Lower Slower Board Gamer. Give me the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That way you'll be able to know whenever I release content, which hopefully is going to be a little more often here in the near future. Click the dinger bell thingy so that way you'll know whenever something is uploaded. And guys, thank you very much. Keep on rolling.